Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV on PlayFrame and the Adventures of Derman here. We gotta go do some diplomacy with an Elder Dragon. Who's ready? Do hope the weather will clear up a little bit. Whatever. Y'all ready? All rested up? I trust you're well rested, Derman. Good. If we're to parley with Hraesvelgr, we shall each have need of the full complement of our wits. We must succeed in winning Hraesvelgr to our cause. Lend me your resolve, Saint Shiva. Whenever you're ready, Warrior of Light. Full eager am I to gaze upon this great Wyrm. Yeah, me too, honestly. It's been a lot of build-up. Moghen is gazing meaningfully at the path to Zenith.
The campfire was so cozy. I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? They'll have borne Hraesvelgr back to the skies above Zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot on that shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you. That does not instill me with confidence. It's fine. We're gonna be fine. And I am quite ready to get a close-up look at this place. You guys here already? Hello? I actually already attuned to this one between episodes, mostly because I wanted to get back to town, before getting on with the next episode. I felt it was time for a fashion shake-up, and I put together a new outfit, so here we go! There we are. Something a little different. Using some of the pieces they've been giving us for recent quests and stuff. Just a bit of a different look. Mix it up. Anyway, we're here now. So let's get higher up this tower. Oh, the sky's clearing up, thank goodness. Now is not a time for clouds. So, oop. Gonna be spiraling all the way up. Got it. It's very tall. There we go. So this is the place. It is time, Warrior of Light. Lend me your resolve, Saint Shiva. Well, let's toot the horn, I guess. Mortals, why do you disturb my solitude?
Hraesvelgr.
Thou speakest the name of a creature that but awaiteth the release of oblivion. Leave me.
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Hraesvelgr, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth about your past, about Shiva.
Do not speak her name, mortal.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me.
Foolish girl. Thinkest thou my beloved spirit hath descended from the heavens? That the secrets of her heart are thine to know?
I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn!
Gullible fool. The light but illuminated the past for thee. It did not grant thee omniscience. The spirit thou hast summoned belongeth not to Shiva. 'Tis but a shade conjured by thine own fancy. In an age long past, mine own kin were guilty of like folly. Beguiled by the Dark One's lies, they attempted to resurrect a king among worms. Yet the divinity they called forth merely borrowed the semblance of my fallen brood brother. Such gods are not summoned, but created. Phantoms spun from the threads of misplaced faith.
Then the spirit that answered me
was but thy dream of Shiva. Thy soul hath been corrupted by a deity of thine own making, child.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
The tale of thy kind is one of avarice, treachery, and death, and thou wouldst speak to me of peace. Hark thee, mortal, to the naked truth. Then tell me thou deservest forgiveness. "1,200 years ago, my beloved Shiva's sacrifice served to bring an end to the war twixt man and dragon, paving the way for an age of peace and cooperation. 2 centuries of harmony were to follow, during which time the Ellison learned much about us, not least that the eyes of the great Wyrm are the wellspring of his strength. 'Twas out of the selfish desire to possess this strength that King Thordan then conspired to undo all that our peoples had achieved together. With the aid of his leal knights, that most noble of Ellison lured my brood sister Ratatoskr into an ambush, and took from her that which he craved. Fain would I strike the image from my mind, yet still the scene doth linger, of my brood sister's tattered corpse, defiled by her Ellison allies. They had torn out her eyes and feasted upon them in the manner of wild beasts. Yet that was not all, for from their bloody banquet, the fiends had gained strength beyond that of mortal men. Even now, I labor to comprehend the enormity of their betrayal. Nidhogg was the first to learn of the atrocity, and he took to the skies, hungry for vengeance. But though he slew Thordan and some few of his knights, their fellow butchers knew only too well where to aim their spears, and with now practiced savagery, they set about my brood brother, sending him flailing from the field. Such is the truth the Holy See would keep hidden. Such was the beginning of the Dragon Song War. 'Tis a song my kind shall ne'er forget, e'en should 10,000 years pass and Ishgard crumble into dust.
your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, Dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
What thou choosest to believe is immaterial. The betrayal that yet haunts mine every waking moment is no less than the truth to my kind. And Nidhogg meaneth for Thordan's people to suffer for this sin till the end of days. That which thou imaginest a war of extinction is but a punishment, a siege of the spirit. Hast thou not seen those who tire of the torment, those who abandon their own and side with dragonkind?
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Know that all the traitor's progeny bear a trace of Ratataskra's essence. But a single sip of our blood is enough to waken it.
Then, the seed lies within us.
'Tis for this reason that those who abandon their loyalties are rewarded with a drink, and thus are they transformed, to join the ranks of Nidhogg's ever-growing army as newborn dragons. One by one, through death or defection, my brood brother shall account for all of the betrayer's children.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
There will always be some, of course, who choose to fight until the bitter end. Like thee, Dragoon. But struggle as thou might, thy youthful vigor will be spent ere thou reachest 210, and Nidhogg shall remain to torment thine offspring.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance. An eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
Thou hast the right of it, Dragon Slayer. Comprehendest thou now the futility of thy quest?
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Stubborn child, thou thinkest in mortal terms. Our perception of time is too broad for thee to grasp. 'Tis a simple matter for thee to offer thine apologies. Thou didst not perpetrate the crime. Despite thy visions, the deeds of history seem distant to thee. For a Wyrm such as Nidhogg, however, that history is yet part of his present, as fresh as the blood that did gush from Ratataskra's wounds. How could he not be driven mad? 'Tis only by the calming embrace of Shiva's soul that mine own fury hath not consumed me. But let us speak no more of what is done. My faith in your kind is spent, and I would be alone. Well, that went less good than hoped. What false god is this Shiva? What manner of phantom have I welcomed into my heart? As predicted, Iceheart's faith in the Wyrm was misplaced, which leaves us all but one recourse. You know I have the right of it, Warrior of Light. Maybe. Hraesvelgr was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power. The will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we've learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. Yeah, it's not the best news. Alphino is considering your party's next course of action.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Wyrm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And with two Azure Dragoons working in unison, who can say what might be possible?
Hey, custom voice-acted lines for this specific situation. Neat.
But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the Wyrm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
Alright then, where are we headed instead? What false god is this Shiva? Right. Well, you take care of yourself. We'll catch up to you later. Right now, I need to catch up to the other two. Hey guys, wait up! Where are you? Did you already get in trouble? Excuse me. I'm here to... Where's the guys? Did you see a tall one and a short one go this way? Ah, jeez. Guys! Guys? Boy, y'all can cover some ground when you want to. We're on the other side of the map. Team. Maybe wait up for me next time, huh? Estinian, pray tell me if I'm wrong.
Is that it?
Aye, that would be the Eyrie. I feel Nidhogg's presence through the eye, his caustic hatred gnawing at my soul. 'Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated. Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. 'Twill be just like the good old days, no?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind catching up with Sid again. Why not? So then, Estinian would have you enlist the aid of Sid Garland. A force of sufficient power to break through a primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Eyrie. And I can offer no better solution. Pray consult this engineer friend of yours. Can do. Very well. On the condition that you swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And steal all the glory for myself, you mean? Nay, I'm not so selfish as that. Contact me by link pearl when your preparations are complete, and we shall set forth from Ishgard together. I suggest we rendezvous back at St. Renette's Forum, Derman. From what I gleaned of the Holy Sea's decidedly ambitious airship project, Sid will still be in Ishgard. Well, let's head back there then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Here we are. Been a little bit. When last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, he might still be at Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, we could try the airship landing, or mayhap even the Skysteel manufactory. But let us not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is who? Sir Emmerich would seem the obvious choice, but there's no guaranteeing he'll be able to grant us an audience at short notice. I have it. Count Edmont's youngest son prides himself on knowing all of the Holy Sea's juiciest rumors. Let's return to the manor and see if Lord Emanolin is about. Works for me, I'll meet you there. Here we are. How are you doing? When it comes to exchanging information of uncertain origin, Lord Emanolin is something of a prodigy. Well, great. That's exactly, I think, what we need. Ah, the hero returns. How goes the fight, old boy? Well, I trust. In search of a Sid Garland, you say? Then say no more. The taverns are full of talk, and the name of said silver-haired genius has cropped up more often than most. I hear he's been tasked with getting that monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. 'Twould seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the first. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I'll wager their master does too. The airship landing. Yes, I thought as much. Come, Derman. We must find Sid and trouble him for his expert opinion. Should have guessed he'd be at the airship landing. Of course he would. All right, to the airship landing. Sid! Sid, you here? Maybe we have to actually go inside. Sid? No? Oh, goodness. Hiding around a corner. Derman, Alphino, how fare you both? Not terribly well, judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I'm sure it will come as little surprise when I tell you we have need of a favor. Another wind barrier. And you say it was conjured by Nidhogg. The Enterprise could certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's agile for a ship her size, but not that agile. The Dravanians would fly rings around her. And if they took it into their heads to incinerate the rigging, there would be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we can do. Some manner of weapon we could employ. Estinian stands vigil at the edge of the churning mists, but we do not know how much longer. All right, I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Biggs, Wedge, it's time we gave that new toy of yours a proper field test. Oh, they're so excited. It's probably best if I let the lads show you. Come on, the manufactory is not far. Well, let's get a look at this thing. And get ourselves a look at the manufactory while we're at it. Or not, we'll just stand outside it, that's fine too. Our little project's just inside. Oh, you're gonna like this one.
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
Ooh.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit, and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them. They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
The energy conversion ratio's bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off, if you'll forgive the pun.
Oh, hello.
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Ul'Dah. It's about Her Grace, the Sultana.
It seems you're required elsewhere. Leave the mana cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds. You, meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Raoban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
Good plan. Catch up with you bunch later. All right. Back to Ul'Dah for a bit, it seems like. I'm as intrigued as you are, Derman. Shall we hear what news Tataru's brought us? Let's do. Tataru has news for you from Ul'Dah.
General Raoban says that they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts. And he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation.
Come, Derman. Pressing though Ishgard's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the Manicutter's completion. Let's return to the troubled lands of Thanalin and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him we've identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the Waking Sands, Warrior of Light. 'Tis past time Ul'Dah was delivered from this darkness. On that we agree. Loving the little fat chocobo back there, by the way. It's very good. Okay. Again, thank goodness I still have some of these on hand, huh? To the Waking Sands! Pray return!
Thank you for coming.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
I gather you have made progress in the search for Her Grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady-in-waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours?
Oh, definitely.
Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friends, for Nanamo, and for Ul'Dah!
Nods all around. We are in agreement. All right then. If one had chosen to entrap the Sultana in a death-like sleep rather than slay her, then one would surely also know of a means to rouse her from said state. There must be an antidote to this poison. Our target is Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting, a woman of Midlander heritage. I'm told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Meriel's still in hiding there. Good plan. Okay, I'll meet you all there then. So to give you like a small clue as to like what it is like doing side quests and side like optional content as you're going through the main story. There are lots of various side quests that you can do out here in this little area, the Silver Bazaar. And if you do them, you will kind of learn what the place is like. You will help out residents who are needing some help with some basic things, who are either trying to get this place back up to being the hub of commerce that it once was, or the ones that have accepted that it's not that anymore and have tried to turn it into more of like a fishing hub. You'll work with some folks who are trying to, you'll help out people with their local problems and get an idea for what these locations are meant to be. And if you have gone and done all that sort of thing, then when Raban mentions that, hey, you're going to go out and look for this person out at the Silver Bazaar, and yeah, it's not the place that it once was, so we're probably going to be noticed. That'll be something that you already inherently understand as a player because you already are familiar with this place and what its whole deal is. It's they've done a really good job at world building through the use of lots of minor side content that you don't have to do, and you don't have to do to enjoy the story either, but it just adds further richness if you do it. It's not just running out and killing 3 boars left and right for no reason. You do actually learn interesting stuff about the world as you do the things. Anyway, let's ask around. And what brings you to our lonely little hamlet? I believe the arrival of your entourage just about doubled our population. Looking for Mariel, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Ul'Dah, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Any luck? I've met the Sultana's handmaiden on numerous occasions, but I cannot for the life of me bring her features to mind. What about you? Do I know of any of the returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. What about you down here at the docks? Anything? Mariel? Ah, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one closest to the market entrance. Perfect, thank you. Hey, guys! Good news! Let's see. Looks like this would be that house. Hello? Yes. Found you.
You are Mariel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me. General Alden!
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Lonorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim. 'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Mariel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ul'Dah was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ul'Dah was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, Ul'Dah. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed. Alas, Ul'Dah's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive, and preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial? Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find Her Grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'Dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
I guess we'll stay here. Alphino? There you are. You had killed the one you served. Pray excuse my mutterings, I was reminded of a line from an old poem. By the 12, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he, of all people, would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Yeah, that it was a surprise, huh? Alphino would see this dark chapter in Ul'Dah's history brought to a close. Should we also— oops, didn't mean to move that around. Should we also make our way to Ul'Dah? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. Yeah, let's do. Let's go ahead and wrap up this Ul'Dah business today. I'm here. Thanks for waiting. I hope Lord Lolorito's potion is as effective as he claims. Yeah, me too. That'll be a real letdown, if it isn't. It would appear that the Syndicate has moved swiftly to clear our names. Bartholomew, for one, does not seem remotely surprised by our presence here. Flame General Rauban mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way if you will.
I was having the longest dream.
'Tis time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in Thanalan, and the sun blazes bright upon the sands. Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she's none the worse for her slumber. I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Ul'Dah into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. But what our city truly thrives upon is competition. 'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Oh, wait, I have it. The Agrius. Yes, well, 'twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle. My lords and lady, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teledji Adeledji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
"'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order, but 'twould seem the worst of the confusion has passed. Ul'Dah has taken control of its future, and I must do the same. I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves.
What, you didn't do that yet?
Among the recruits, there were those who supported our Order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified Grand Company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low. I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more.
I like the sound of that plan.
The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
Ah, he's grown so much. See, I told you you'd eventually come to like this character. And we've really only just started spending time with him, if you think about just how long this game has become with all the expansions and whatnot. I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil. But the fact remains, there's no man alive in whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never have emerged from beneath the pall of my despair. Happy to help, bud. Whoop. Still getting levels now and then, it's just infrequently enough that it surprises me. Anyway, we will continue this next week. Thank you all very much for watching, and have a good weekend. I will see you next time for some more Final Fantasy XIV. Take care, and goodbye.